Hi again. This is an overview of the parts I'll be using to make the C.V.D.R, the original version. Actually, no, sorry, an adaptation of the original version. I've got my tip 35.5. This I'm about to find out, but this is a bridge rectifier. I may not use this depending on what it actually works with, but I'd like to because it looks quite cool. These will be the voltage gathering diodes, capacitor, sorry, 1000 UF at 200 volts each. I'll be putting them in parallel, so it'll be 2000 volts at 200 volts at 2000 UF. These will be the next stage of the step down. These are 425 volt at 3300. And that will give me 13,200 farad in parallel. Not farad, sorry, that's fucking hell. Be UF, sorry, I'm not sure in what farads it would be, but it'd be 13,200 microfarads or UF. And these absolutely lethal ones are 16 volts at 4,700. And my cat's walking right over my hand. Move. She's right there. But I've got 12 of these. Now, I did a little bit of maths. As you can see with the subnote there, it would be 16 volts at 564,000. I think, no? 564... 5,600... Oh, I can't even read the number. Maybe 6,000, maybe 56,400. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't know how many that's gotta be getting on a farad. It's gotta be getting on a farad at least. And that'd be all these again in parallel connected. So this is actually the bulk. This is pretty much the circuit, minus a resistor or two to regulate this. Oh, and one, I think I'll be using it, I'm not sure if I will in this one, but one also, yeah I will be, it's just sat at the top there. That would be a 16 volt, 1000 microfarad regulator cap. So minus 16 volt, 1000 microfarad regulator cap, this is pretty much the circuit as it is. I've just got to find out what this does and get on putting them together, which I was thinking about using this, but let's face it, come on, 16 volt at 556,400 microfarads across these little terminals. I really think that's just going to vaporize it. So, borrowing the rather nifty and really simple, really good idea of Tin Man. I'm thinking Daft Man. Tin Man. Yeah, Tin Man, thanks for that little video where you use perspex to stick the capacitors onto and all the bits and pieces upside down. So I'll be doing that, sticking them onto this, and then joining obviously each capacitor and whatnot together. Meow. Okay, with wire of sorts. I've got a load in the bucket over there, which is pretty much house mains wire and extension cords. I've got a vacuum up there, and that's from my computer. Get off my lap cat because I'm about to get up. Yeah, so I've got plenty of wire in there, and all these capacitor parts and whatnot actually come from this. This is a 3,500 watt inverter. And it also charges the batteries you connect to it if you plug it into the mains. I bought this broken, spares and repairs. I was going to fix it up, but I found out that these inverters are bags of shit and prone to breaking down. One guy spent 2 years doing a little bit of a rebuild, but to actually get it working perfectly. So I'm not going to rebuild it. I've been scrapping it. I've ripped all the capacitors off here, and as you can see, it's got some rather hefty parts in it. I mean, these stay straight on the side there. I hate my camera. 200 volt, 3,500 watts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And obviously got all of, wait, still going all of those transistors, MOSFETs and diodes to play with and use. So I'm gonna again salvage it from here. So it's gonna be very, very, very robust, to say the least, because what I'll be using to power the whole thing is this. Don't be fooled by this rather modest little setup. I have a weird thing. I can actually show it right now, I believe. Okay, so I'll take it off the transformer just for the sake of. Connect up the power. The motor's got a. Oh, got to do the wire. I'm on wire. That's it. Yeah, it's a motor controller. So the motor sings. I'll move that. It's going to make a lot of noise for a bit every now and then. But this is a weird thing about this rather little cool coil. It's my 5-filer wound, 27 gauge wire, 15 ohm in total. So, what happens when you normally short a coil? Now, normally coils grind to a screaming halt, but this one does it very, 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 very slowly. And as you can see how close that coil is. And with that, and it is producing current. I don't know. I'll screw it, I'll mess with that anyway. With that, when I'm charging up capacitors and such, it slows down for a bit. And when it reaches the full capacity, the whole thing accelerates again, it's back up to top speed. Even though the capacitors are full and being really filled by this, this normal looking coil, I get the exception that it doesn't really slow down. Very, very, very little lens. So if this rather light CD, it's a DVD. Yeah, dual layer DVD actually, but yeah, two of them stuck together, so give me a nice little rotor. So say if this was a bit heavier, the fact is that slowing down, that minor slowing down under very dead short conditions, won't really affect it all. So again, I can run it from a pulse motor. I've got it running from this because I like chunky things that don't break easy, because I break things rather easy. Which is why I'm researching about that bridge rectifier, because again, the parts that I'm using, they're going to kill me. But it's going to be good fun. I'll die with a smile on my face, I think, unless that's just muscle contraction. Yeah, that's my overview, overall setup, and hopefully by today, I know it sounds like, oh yeah, I should be able to do it in 10 minutes, but it's me. I go off doing other things, like it's a mad attention span, so I'll be doing that. Just to give you an idea, this was the second one, second or third, whatever this thing's called again, but due to looking at the circuits, I've adapted and combined the outputs. This one involves super caps, which this is your initial run cap, and then the secondary one involves charges super cap. I know it says 16 volts, but this was based on these caps, which I found obviously didn't work, and this one does. That one does work if it's super caps, and that's normal caps, but with the 16 volt step downs, it doesn't work in that way. Okay, so they do actually work, but don't work for the capacitors that are on. But this one does. Goes 200 volt in there. Half of that is 50. Half of that is 25. Half of 25 is 12.5. I think, yeah, 12.5. I know it says 16 volt, but what I get is a general voltage rise, so it will actually pull it up to around 16 volt, maybe a bit more. But the fact is, I got a lot of farads to throw out, so even 12 volts at 564,000 farads is still enough to start a car, probably. Okay, and again, because I haven't actually put the videos on yet, this is the original C.V.D.R.T. High voltage in, current, power out comes there. I know it's pretty small, but yeah. And that was the attempt at the handling AC. I'm not quite sure because obviously I got the negative. I did this one early in the morning, so I got the negative charge will come up there. It'll go to that side, it'll go to that side, but I noticed, whoops, it will also go straight through to the load itself. Now I don't know if that will reduce, or these will negative, I don't know, sort of squeeze the current through. But again, that's just like, whoops, but it kind of works. And that's the C.V.D.R.T. version 1.5. I got a lot of excess drawings on here. Ignore that diode, ignore that attempt at a diode, and that wire doesn't exist. So as you saw with that one, is that one. But again, that's based on the supercapacitor, and I've got some other ones somewhere else. New top secret. No, that one. And turbines, and this was sort of an accidental circuit. And if you notice there, it goes negative to positive to negative over there. What happens when you put a load across this, or indeed with a capacitor or a load, the current goes around, and it actually charges the circuit as well. So when you disconnect the battery, the circuit still runs for the power that's charged through there, restricted by the load. So the load only allows a certain amount through, that only charges the batteries at a certain charge. These are batteries, not capacitors, because I haven't tried capacitors. I use these. Yeah, that's right, I use these. And they actually charged whilst running the load as well. The drive batteries also got quite warm, but they were 1.5 volt batteries running into those. Yeah. Another version of the C.V.D.R.T, but that's again not quite there. Maybe AC. That's the output. AC I've been working on quite a bit. Reminders. These are the very, very early works. I've been back and forth over these, so this was not all done at one point. I've been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's possibly a 3-phase base version. Maybe by follow wire as well. These are other versions. Again, that one not there. I've not used that one. This is experimental about capacitors, and this was the original high voltage transformer type thing above, which is C.V.D.R.T. evolved from. Cool. Okay then. I'll go on with finding out about that. So this is the capacitor bridge rectifier. That's one. Yes, the bridge rectifier. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and play it safe with electrics. It will kill you when you don't expect it. Thanks. Ta-ra.